Watch out. You went down? You're a copycat, Andy.
Horsey.
A horsey? Okay, so this is a horse named Brooks Promise. Brooke is my cousin, and her father purchased this little horse and named it a little bit after her, Brooks Promise. I broke her when I was about 15, maybe 16 years old, but I've known her from when she was a little baby. I broke her, I halter broke her, which means, you know, taught her to lead and be tied up. I broke her to ride, and I honestly came here today, I had no idea I was going to see her, so it's kind of cool to see her again. Brings back old memories. But I've spent countless hours on this horse's back, and like I said, I had no idea she was here. I was rather surprised when he said, "Well, you can go get old Promise," and I'm like, "Promise? Like as in Brooks Promise?" I didn't know. You know, I haven't been around her for years and years, so it's fun to see her again. Anyway, let's get going with her. Because we're just gonna brush her off so her back's nice and clean. So when we put the saddle on her, if there's outside, Shirley, outside. Sit down. Good girl. We don't want anything to be in her coat that would make her sore from the saddle pad rubbing, so you always brush them off real good. And she's pretty clean, so it's not gonna take much. But yeah, I'll always remember breaking her. I've trained from the ground up, I don't know, 50, 60 horses. I've lost track over the years. Most of that was obviously when I was much younger, in my teens and early 20s. But in that time, I was riding full time. I was riding horses all day, training horses every day, all day. So you can imagine how many I must have gone through. Like I said, I've lost track. It's got to be over 50, 60 animals that I've trained from the ground up. And then as far as ridden, it's got to be in the hundreds. I have no idea how many. But anyway, out of those 50 plus horses I've trained from the ground up, from the first ride on, she's very memorable because she was a rambunctious little sucker. She did not want you to get on her back. She wouldn't try and buck. She would just get scared and run, and just panic and run every time you tried to get on her. So I took her, and what we did is we run a rope, a big thick soft rope so it wouldn't make her sore, around her neck here, and it'd come down. And you run it up the back leg and you pull it so her back leg's up so she can only stand on 3 legs. And it makes it hard for them to run or jump or do anything because they've only got 3 legs. But even on 3 legs, she would jump every single time I got on her. And so I sat for a half hour just getting on and off, on and off, on and off. And she would panic every single time, on and off for a half hour. I was dripping in sweat. Finally, she just got so agitated and so sick of it. She reached back and she bit me right on the back and pinched really hard. Gave me a big old purple mark. And I was like, oh, son of a gun. And I couldn't really do anything about it because she was scared of me. So I had to soothe her, you know. I was trying to soothe her. I couldn't do anything about being bit. I just had to take it. And I just kept getting on and on and on. Finally, she did the same thing. She reached back in. So this time, instead of pinching, she raked her teeth across my back, right across that bruise that she'd created earlier. Oh, it hurt so bad. But I just had to, you know, suck it up and keep going. And just got on and on and off and on and off.
Daddy, Ellie gonna want a horsey too?
Yeah, Ellie and Olive and Daddy and Mommy wants to. Okay, so this saddle was my grandfather's saddle, and he gifted it to me for all the work I did for him growing up. And that was his brand, GH, Gene Hinsey. And I spent many hours riding in that saddle. I've had horses fall on me while I'm riding this saddle. I've had this saddle smash my leg. I've been bucked off of this saddle. I've been almost bucked off a lot of times and rode it anyway. This Saddles and I have been through a lot together, and then multiple times we've ended up in the dirt together. So there's one time we were out, there was a fire out in the desert, out in Promontory Point near the Salt Lake, and we had to go get all the horses out off the mountain before they got caught in the fire. Because there's, you know, obviously fences around them, so if the fire herded them into a fence, they couldn't escape and they would have burned. So we had to go gather up all the mares and foals off the mountain and take them out to where they could get away from the fire out on the salt flats near the Salt Lake. Because where they were at, they wouldn't have been able to get to the salt flats and they would have burned, you know, got caught up with the fence and burned. So we were running out there and we had to hurry, you know, as you can imagine. So we weren't being very careful. I was putting a saddle on a colt that wasn't used to being saddled, and it jumped, and its front foot landed right on my foot. In these boots, actually, believe it or not. Stomped on that foot, and my foot started swelling up, and I hurried and pulled my boot off before my foot, you know, swelled up. I had to cut I didn't want them to cut my boot off, because that'd be the only way to get my foot out of it. So I hurried, pulled my foot out, and I was fine. You know, I got my foot out in time. So anyway, it had been a couple weeks of healing since that had happened, and it was the first day my foot the swelling had gone down enough that I could put a boot on. Previous to that, I had to wear a tennis shoe, and I'd be riding with a boot on one side and a tennis shoe on the other, because that was the only way I could get my foot in a shoe, because my foot was too swollen. Anyway, it was the first day that I could finally get my foot back in a boot, and we're out there on the mountain trying to run these mares off to where they could be safe. We were hurrying to get these mares off, and a bunch had taken off and they were running towards the fire, and I had to head them off. So I was galloping across the desert as fast as I could go to head off these mares. And I run down into a gully, and the horse stepped in some loose, soft dirt and sunk in and flipped over on me and landed right on that sore foot, just smashed it into the ground. And I was scared the horse broke her leg, but she stood up. So I hurried and caught the reins as fast as I could. I was like, oh, you're not leaving me out here. I'm not gonna get burned with my broken foot and stuck out here in the desert. So I caught the horse, got back on her, and just kept riding with my sore foot. And we rounded up all those mares and got them off the mountain, and no casualties. The fire didn't kill anything. We were able to save them all. So anyway, that was all in this saddle. Different horse, but same saddle. And same boots, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they're the same boots. So anyway, I got a lot of memories coming back today. So apologize if I turn into a storyteller today. Okay guys, let's go get a bridle. Do you want to go ride the horsey? Let's go ride the horse, come on. Okay, come on, let's go ride the horse. We gotta go put on the bridle. And Daddy wants to ride it a little bit first, so she's warmed up, okay?
Nope, you take it out.
Feels good. It's been so many years since I've been in the saddle. Like, I honestly don't know how long it's been. It's been, I don't know, a long time. Way too long. My grandfather was the one that I would ride with. He was a horse trainer professionally. And I used to ride and train with him all growing up. But when he got Alzheimer's, I pretty much quit riding.
Olive.
Olive, look at Mommy. Is this fun? Okay, let's go ride. What do you think, Olive? Is it fun?
Hi, Mommy.
Say, like riding the horsey?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
Uh-huh.
Good, I'm glad you have fun.
Oh, again.
You want to go again?
Yeah.
Okay, let Ellie have a turn, then you can go again.
Okay.
I want to ride a horse.
Ellie, say hi. Say hi, Mommy. Should we go?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Faster, Dad, faster. Dad, faster.
Is that your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you? You 3? You a big girl? You like riding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun,
I
huh?
want to get again.
You want to get on again?
Yeah. Dad, faster.
We gotta go slowly first,
Okay.
and then we can go faster. Shuni?
And it's just like, yeah, this is nice.
Personal space, outside, outside. You're too close. Girl. How does she look? She looks scared? Or?
No, she's like, yep, this is how it is.
Not like any sound.
I know.
Terrified or chilling or what?
No, she's just chilling. I thought she was gonna really be loud about this because she's such a daredevil. She's like smiling a little bit.
It's been a while for you too, huh, babe?
Oh yeah,
I think
did it like 4 times,
you've only done it a couple times, yeah.
so I'm not very good at this.
So what did we do for our first date, Maggie?
We went horse riding.
That was my special secret weapon as a single guy. Was
It
taking
worked with me.
taking pretty girls horseback riding. That was my secret weapon. Huh.
Yeah, it was really fun. First time riding a horse, for sure.
I don't ever remember her bucking, but man, she was a handful. I had to spend hours as a 3-year-old just trotting her real slow because she wanted to run. She always, once she was, used to getting mounted and used to riding her around, she still really hot head and wanted to run. So I wouldn't let her run. I'd make her trot, just trot. And she'd want to go. Oh, relax, just trot. And we'd do that for hours. She was a hothead as a young horse. Now she's just a sweet old quiet mare, huh? That's a good old horse, huh? Not near the hothead she was 20 years ago. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been 20 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever. But good old horse, huh? Well, I had a lot of fun reminiscing with you guys. I hope my stories weren't boring, but we'll come out again and do another video like this. Maybe teach you guys some things about horses if you want to learn. So make a comment below. Let me know if that interests you. If no one's really interested, I might not do it. But if I get enough interest, we'll do a few more videos. Maybe teach you guys a little bit about horses and training and kind of what I did growing up. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll show you more next time.